All right, good morning, everybody. Mattie Sports for you and me. I have a special guest, Kick It Like Cass, aka Amanda Cass. Back in the day, we were schoolmates, and haven't seen you probably since 2007 either.
Yeah, I think it was like prom 2007. You were in my limo. You went.
That's
So
right. That's right. And I was with um, Caroline too at that time.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
I was like
Uh,
13
so,
years
any,
ago now.
Jesus, don't even remind me. So I saw your Instagram. It just all of a sudden happened. I think it was off of one of our mutual friends, and said, "Oh my God, she's got a lot of followers." So, um, what got you to that point? What do you think got you to that point?
Well, yeah, gotten about like I don't know, like 15,000 followers now. Some of it was like I started learning a little bit about like how to promote myself through Instagram. And then some of it was probably just some of like the things that I've done, like the Ultimate Beastmaster and other things like that. And learning how to work the algorithms when you're putting stuff out also definitely kind of helps you gain more followers while you're promoting your own type of brand on Instagram. I have some
Mhm.
friends who are influencers and stuff too. So whenever like we do different like videos or pictures and stuff together, sometimes that also helps.
Yeah, it seems like you got a whole crew around you, and like your training methods look awesome. Like all the stuff they put you on, like they put you on a pedestal with like all your pictures. It's like, oh my God, you could like jump like 20 feet in the air and hit a light bulb, it looks like.
Yeah,
So
I've been training super hard over quarantine. What else is there to really do outside of, some of your other work and whatnot, but I'm lucky to have some people that I get to create really cool content with.
hmm
And like the last several like pictures I put up, um it's this girl that I met. She's a photographer. I think her handle is Allie Photography or something like that. You can find it on my Instagram. And
hmm
she creates some really cool pictures. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago on a Saturday. We went and just did a photo shoot for like hours. We did outfit changes, and we went to this building in Rockland that her friend owns, that I also know as well now because I got connected between the two of them. And the building was actually like an old shoe mill. So we were able to kind of go around and explore it and do some really cool pictures throughout the whole place.
that's awesome. That's really cool. Like finding different set locations and stuff like that. And has this popularity got you to travel anywhere specific, just like not like kind of outside the branch of Massachusetts or wherever?
Not like specifically. I would say some of the reasons I travel don't really have anything to do with like, the martial arts page that I'm kind of creating on Instagram. It's more like some stunt opportunities and stuff like that. Which I feel like it's not separate because I do post like test fights on my page and stuff, but in a sense it is a little bit separate.
And tell me about like the stunt stuff. So, how do you get through the networks to get to that point? Like, have you been in any type of movies or any type of YouTube or like
Yeah,
like platform
well,
movies like that?
yeah, I got started a few years ago. I started after I did Ultimate Beastmaster on Netflix. I started kind of dabbling with the idea that I wanted to do stunts. Um the first thing I ever did was this like local film here, and it was like a stuntman from China. He was trying to just make this like little movie, and I kind of got like a taste of it through doing like an indie film like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I kind of like this." And then when I did Ultimate Beastmaster, I did meet, a couple people who were stunt performers at the time. And that was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do it, was specifically because I met so many people just pursuing their passions, because before that I was just doing in-home therapies with kids who have autism, which like I really enjoyed that too. And I learned a lot about, kids and families and everything. But I definitely knew, like, being a martial artist since I was 8 years old, I was like, I want to use this skill that I've developed for, over 20 years now. So meeting people was like a big proponent in it. And then when I got back, I met my friend Victoria Lee, who we clicked like that. And then we started going to some gyms in Connecticut and started going out to New York. Um, and it kind of started taking off from there, but it's a lot of networking. It's definitely something that if like people want to get into it, you really have to kind of be passionate and patient. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so from there, then I started like shooting test fights, starting to doing some YouTube stuff, and luckily I was able to join SAG about a year and a half ago. And
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Something I just did that just came out was Godmothered on Disney Plus, and then the whole industry shut down
Hmm.
recently, and then it opened back up. So some of the stuff that I did recently hasn't come out yet, so I don't I'm not really supposed to like talk about too much of it. Some of the stuff was actually filming here locally for Netflix and stuff, but I don't want to like put too much information.
No,
We can do a follow
that's
up
totally
later once
fine.
it comes out.
Absolutely. You can let me know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that sounds really cool. Like that, I know all about the networking stuff. You got to go through a lot of channels. You got to work hard at it. If somebody doesn't answer you, you don't frown upon it, and you don't take a couple months off. I started this in 2020. Now I'm still going, so must be doing something right.
Yeah,
um,
it's all about the persistence, right? Anything you want to
right,
do anyway.
right. So, with your martial arts, when did you start martial arts, stuff like that?
Well, I technically started in 1995, if you can believe that, when I was
Mm.
5. And then I had moved to Weymouth after that. So I had taken like a little break. So I always say like I started in 97 when I was 8. So was that like 24 years now? I can't even keep track.
Oh my God, yeah. I
Yeah.
still forget my age half the time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you've
Yeah.
been doing that for so long. And do you have a specific like belt in martial arts or anything like that?
Yeah. I am a fourth Dan black belt in Shaolin Kempo karate. That's my background. But I've actually like kind of enjoyed dabbling. I don't hold rank in any other style, but I've enjoyed like dabbling a little bit in other styles since like starting stunts, because it's always good to like know a bit of wrestling, know a bit of boxing, so you can kind
Mm-hmm.
of change up the way you look like you're fighting on camera. And actually, when I was younger, I didn't think I'd like boxing as much, but I actually really enjoy boxing. I love mitt drills and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it seems like you can definitely kick for sure.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah. Kick it like Cass, that's me. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love to kick too, obviously. That's like my favorite thing. That's why all my videos and stuff are about that on my Instagram.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing that stuff. And like when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like I said, we went through mutual friends. I think you know who, but um it would be somebody we both know. Begins with a K. um
Cousin?
Kelly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
she told me to tell you she says hello.
Oh, hello.
Yep.
Back to the prom days.
Yeah, back in the day. I
Yeah,
was thinking
so
about that story of prom. It was kind of funny because that limo that I got for all of us was actually my karate teacher drove us, because she had a connection with the limo that time.
oh,
I
no
was laughing
kidding.
about it.
No
Well, I was
kidding.
thinking about it this morning as I was shoveling myself out of my driveway, and I'm like, oh my god, that's funny.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Hmm.
Oh man, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And it's like it's like, who knew it would be like a world where I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to a person from high school I've known for a long time. I'm sure I've
I
known you
know.
since probably like junior high or intermediate
At
school,
least
something
middle
like that.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least middle
So
school.
it's like, wow, like look what who you've become. So um
It's cool.
so my next question for you would be, did you were talking about tournaments. Do you still go to tournaments with your martial arts stuff?
I, I retired from competing. When I decided to like jump into stunts, I wanted to kind of really jump in and do it the right way. So I haven't competed since like at least 4 or 5 years ago. Um, my daughter does compete because I have her in martial arts as well. So when I go to competitions and stuff, I'm either judging or, just kind of pulling all the kids along that I teach and getting them to where they need to go. So I've I've taken a back seat to competing though.
So are you instruct kids too? And oh, excuse
Yeah,
my
I
dog.
still I still teach. I actually is that your dog?
Yeah.
Um I still teach. I still teach. I enjoy teaching as well.
Oh, that's great. And do you actually like, I know you're talking about you worked with kids with autism. Do you have a certain program with kids like that, or um
Not specifically at our school. When I worked with kids with autism, I my degree was in sociology, so I did like the normal 9 to 5 thing for a long time. And I would do in-home therapies like ABA and
mhm.
just behavioral therapy and stuff like that. But at our martial arts school, we don't have like a specific program for kids with autism, but we do actually have some students on the spectrum, and some of those students need private lessons and some of them can jump in. It just depends on like, where they're at and what they're comfortable with.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
That's good. Are you what's my next question? So my question with Cobra Kai, that's a new big thing and all that. Like it's become, what do you think of it yourself?
I like it. Like my my first take on it is like, wow, the show, it's kind of funny because it's like two like 50-year-old guys with a grudge from, the 1980s, which kind of makes the premise laughable, but for whatever reason I couldn't stop binge watching the last season. Like I couldn't look away. I don't know why. Um but I don't think they did a good job with it. And I had some friends who did stunts on there, and
Oh, okay.
I could tell the stunt team worked hard to you know, do what they could as far as the choreography went and some of their recs and all of that. It seemed like some of the scenes they had a lot of the actors doing some of the action,
Hmm.
um, which was kind of cool that they were able to teach and get them to be able to do some things too. But I do like it. Like I said, I initially I wasn't sure because the premise
Right.
of the show is just kind of a funny grudge that these two guys hold, 40 something years later. But I do
Yeah.
like it. What do you think of it?
Um, Personally, I think it's good myself. I just like reminiscing because, I've seen all the Karate Kid movies and, you know, I know who both characters are, and then they're branching out to bring all the old school characters back. So now it's like, if you watch the old movies, is this person coming into the mix, or is it like, the kids are one thing. Like I don't know why they put that girl in there who was like clawing at people like an X-Man or something in the first one. I'm like, that's just absolutely crazy. And the kid falls off the stairs and like all that stuff. Sorry for
Yeah,
people who don't know, but I mean,
I know. Spoiler alert.
yeah,
Um,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know that scene was pretty cool. It was interesting how they shot it because they basically most of it seemed like a one take because they had the camera kind of moving along as they were going through the halls and then into that
Hmm.
stairwell and then that wreck that guy took off of. off of the third floor. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it becomes still better. I mean, I was asking you from your standpoint, like, does it look silly from like what your standpoint is from like doing stunts and stuff? Like, did this person do something wrong? Like, I mean, like, were
Um,
you kind of like judging it when you were watching it, kind of too?
I think any stunt performer does, like when you're watching a fight scene, you kind of like,
Yeah.
really analyze everything. And I think like, one thing to consider is they definitely have the actors and actresses doing a lot of action, which is really cool. Um, so I can definitely see the difference when it's the actor versus when it's the stunt performer as far as the action goes. But I think it's been up for some awards for
Yeah. I think
SAG,
they
like
did
as far as
outstanding something. Everything's
yeah,
outstanding with
I
awards.
can't
I can't
remember
remember.
the I saw the award and I think it's like basically the whole stunt team that's on it is potentially up for an award. So I
That's
think they did a
awesome.
good job with it. There's always like things to consider when you're watching action as far as like people's backgrounds and most of the actors on there didn't really have a background in martial arts. I think Hawk
Hmm.
did. So
Yeah.
you can see that like some of the stuff they're just learning, but everything considered, they are doing a great job with it. And I've saw some really cool wrecks on there. Wrecks are like falls.
Hmm.
So I
So is
enjoyed it. I think it was good.
so is Kick It Like Cass coming on the show? Coming on Cobra Kai soon?
Who knows? I gotta send my stuff to the stunt coordinator, maybe. That
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be like, oh, I know
would be
her.
cool.
I know her in
Yep,
the
that would be
shadows.
awesome.
Or you'd be on the mat with Marty Cove.
Right?
So would you
But I
be?
also do like what you said, how they brought all the people back from back in the day. That was pretty cool
Yeah.
to see. Yeah.
So if you were to be on one of the sides, which one would you be on? Would you be on the LaRusso side, or would you be on the, or no, it's Miyagi Do, excuse me, and Cobra Kai or Cobra Kai?
Um, Maybe Eagle Fang Karate. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Eagle Fang Karate.
Um, I
Yeah.
love Johnny's character in this. It's just like honestly, like I feel like his character is one of the best ones. Like he's a nice guy, but he like knows he's a mess at the same time. He doesn't try and
Yeah.
play off like he's like this perfect person. He knows his flaws. So I kind of like his style there. Definitely
Yeah.
not Crease.
Yeah, I heard from what I've heard, and I don't know if because you're part of um the Actors Guild. I don't know if you know about certain actors or actresses. Can you get like information about them? But anyways, but like with Marty Cove, I've heard he's not a very nice person. I think he keeps that persona as Crease in his real life.
Oh, like a method actor who like
Yeah,
acts that
who can?
way outside of set.
Because he's only been in Karate Kid and Rambo from what I've seen. So I mean, two pretty good movies, but
Yeah,
um
I think you're right. I haven't really like checked his IMDb to see what else he's been doing, but yeah, I'll have
and
to find out.
yeah,
I'll have to see.
yeah, keep me on the Actors Guild Connect.
All right, I'll keep you connected.
Yeah, so I mean, is there any other martial arts stuff that inspired you to do this stuff? Or stunt acting
Um,
that would anything inspire you? I mean, I'm not
I
going off
I
of.
would say mainly as a little kid, like watching Jackie Chan and watching the Power Rangers and all of that. And
Awesome.
I mean, one of the it's super funny because one of the reasons I probably started karate as a little kid was I had a green Power Rangers VHS tape that I used to watch all the time, and he would do like a karate lesson on it. It wasn't an episode of Power Rangers; it was just him, and he had like a bunch of kids in where they used to hang out, like where the Power Rangers would hang out. I can't remember the name of like it was like a Shake Shack type place, but they like
Oh
made
yeah,
a video.
yeah.
Yeah, they made
I remember. Yep.
yeah, a karate video, and he was just doing like basics, like punching and like some basic kicks and stuff. But I would put it on all the time when I was like 5 years old, and I thought it was great. So that's probably one of the reasons I started martial arts, which is probably kind of funny to some people. But
So do you still
and
own
then
that VHS?
I do not. I don't know
Oh
what happened to
man,
my VHS or my VHS player, but that was like a something I remember really
that's
liking to
funny.
do as a little kid.
That's funny. I'm sorry to
Yep.
disrupt you. What you were saying?
I'm
Uh,
okay. You're good.
oh, okay. Um, like, did any other stuff like Bruce Lee inspire you, or like I don't want to say Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I mean he's had some pretty decent karate movies himself. But um,
Yeah, all those guys too. And I really like I feel like not as many people well, some people know Bill Superfoot Wallace, like he was a fighter back in the 80s, and he did a little bit of film but not so much film, but like his kicks are amazing. And um I think he fought Chuck Norris back in the day too. And
yeah,
I actually like still follow some of his like stretching videos and stuff. Some of it
okay.
because I'm pretty flexible, so I always had trouble like finding like really good videos about like doing splits and stuff like that to like kind of really push it. And he's definitely somebody that knows a lot about the human body, super flexible, great kicker. And that is also definitely someone who's kind of inspired me. Some of his old videos are still on YouTube, and they're from like the, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s. They're old videos, but the principles behind like the stretching and the information he gives is actually still stands up today.
That's that's wicked cool that you get inspired by these people. And like I've seen in some of your stuff that like you've done like different, like I don't want to say poses or kicks or anything. Like I see it like how do I want to say it? Like Jean-Claude Van Damme in some of his movies. Like I saw like pictures where you can pretty much do the same thing, and it's like, oh my god, this girl is like not the person I remember. You were like the Ninja Turtles. You were hiding this whole secret in
This whole
somewhere.
secret skill that I had back in the
Yeah,
day. And I've
yeah,
gotten a lot better since then. So, and it's kind of cool that we live in a time where we can share our skills and talents through podcasts or
yeah.
Instagram and YouTube and all of that, and like create content. Yeah, no, the Van Damme thing, I've I've pretty much always been able to do like the split between two chairs. And actually, when I
Mm.
had tried out for Beastmaster, I opened the video like with me in between the two chairs doing the split and just like talking. I think that's probably like the reason, because I was like, what am I gonna do to set myself apart? I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit between, you know,
Yeah.
two chairs in a split and introduce myself that way. So it's something different that they probably haven't seen. So I would stick out a little bit. And I guess it worked. But yeah,
Yeah.
that it definitely like hurts when you're doing the split between two chairs. And I always have to make sure I'm like properly warmed up before I go for it. I don't
Mm.
know if you've ever seen the Van Damme commercial where he's in a split, but he's on the trucks and the trucks are like
Um,
driving.
I haven't seen that, but in Bloodsport he did it. He did the split with two chairs
Yeah.
in
No,
that
because in the
movie.
commercial he's on the trucks and the trucks are moving. I don't know like how they rigged all that together, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah. So what? Tell me about Beastmaster, because I was interested in that. I haven't. Sorry, I have not got to check it out yet. But
Oh, it's fine. Honestly, I didn't do like that great on it. I got to like the third obstacle. It was fun that night. I mean, here's one thing like people don't realize when they're watching like Ninja Warrior or Beastmaster, all those, you're filming in the middle of the night. So I didn't get to take my run till like 3 in the morning. I was actually probably,
holy,
yeah, one of the last ones to go that night. Um, so they wait till sundown to start filming. And we were filming in Santa Clarita, California. when we did that
Okay.
one. And it was a lot of fun though, like outside of the obstacle course specifically, like I met the coolest people, the super passionate people. I would definitely say it's like one of those experiences that I'm never going to forget. And I also learned a lot about myself because that was like right around the time where um I, you know, was kind of like wanting to transition and do something else. And that like solidified it when I watched all these people from literally all over the world, all different countries. Some of them were in the Olympics, some of them were working
Mm-hmm.
in circus like performances in Las Vegas, some of them were stunt performers, some of them were on Broadway and dancers, and it was just such cool energy to be around. It was probably similar to like what people do in the Olympics because of having all these people in like the Olympic Village from all over and getting to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of the coolest experiences of my life for sure. And I still stay in touch. We have like a group page that we all still stay in touch. Well, Team USA, and I do still talk to some of the teammates from India and Spain and stuff too. So it was very
Wow,
cool.
that's awesome. Yeah, good connections and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
I've talked to an Olympian myself, and there was this his name is Paul Puatz, and he was an Olympic pole diver. Oh,
Oh
pole
wow.
vaulter. I'm sorry, pole vaulter. And it was just amazing. Like he was teaching me like different meditation and different um like different stretches. Like he has his own program and stuff like that. And he and his wife are really nice people, you know. And that's the thing
Yeah.
with like this job. I call this a job, but I don't really. Um, but like just meeting other people in their lives. Like I've talked to hockey enforcers, like they're like, oh my God, you kind of get nervous. You're like, oh my God, is he gonna punch me through the screen? And then it's like they end up being the nicest people, you know. So it's like,
Mhm.
and like you said, the hard thing is branching it out, branching all this stuff out there. And yeah, so it's good that you have like the promoting skills that you have. So my other thing for you is what's your, like your hour, like what's your day consist of with the training and stuff, like how many hours, like what days can you do it and stuff like that.
Well, my break day, I tend to try and chill out on Sundays a little bit, but other than that, I pretty much train like 6 days a week. I think the best thing, like if somebody wants to get into it, as far as like, well, just getting like in shape or anything
Mm,
like that. I specifically start my day with a run. I hate running. Anybody who knows me knows I hate it, but I force myself to do it. Some
I've
days
done a
I'll start.
5K. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but
Yeah.
it keeps me in good shape. So I'll do a run in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
um, usually just like a mile, and then I'll do sprint intervals right after that. So another, 15-ish minutes. I'll do like a minute on, a minute off, and because it's winter up here, as we know, I
Yes.
do it on my treadmill for the winter, and then when the weather gets nice, I'll go outside and do my runs outside. From there, I'll usually do a different type of workout after that every day. Like some days I'll do a hit workout. Some days I'll do like some agility stuff. Other days I'll do like a little bit of weights, body calisthenics. So I really try and mix up my routine each day. And then from there, I'll work skill, whether it's like working basic boxing techniques or working basic kick techniques. Some days I'll like go back to like traditional karate and run all my forms. um and then another day of the week I usually try and like maintain my basic like gymnastics and like tumbling skills too. Like
Mm-hmm.
Fridays I usually like to do that. I'll do just simple stuff on my air track. I'll go up to our dojo and I'll set up uh my air track and do that. And I usually end my day with like a core, and then I'll stretch at night. So that's kind of how my routine goes. I always write it out on Sundays because um, you know, just because I like this stuff doesn't mean I'm motivated to do it all the time. So if it's already written out and I have something typed up on my computer and I can pull it up on my Google Docs, that kind of holds me accountable to make sure that I'm continuing to do it.
And do you have like a nutritional regimen too?
I try and eat fairly clean. Drive myself crazy, burn complex carbs, but I don't really do simple carbs, and I try and minimize sugar for the most part.
Mhm.
But other than that, I don't do so crazy. I mean, a lot of what I eat is like protein, veggies, and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that throughout the week.
And be a mom at the same time.
And be a mom at the same time. Yeah, my daughter's out there doing virtual school. So it's such
Oh
a
yeah.
weird time, you
I know.
know.
I'm lucky because my daughter's younger. She's toddler age, so she doesn't have any idea what's going on in the outside world or stuff like that. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because I'd rather her outside in the spring or the summer going somewhere. So it's tough, but maybe she'll
At least
learn.
at least she won't remember all this craziness.
Exactly. Like how is it how's it affecting your classes and stuff?
Luckily, at the dojo, we've been able to stay open. When everything shut down at the beginning of last year in March, yeah, it was March, God, almost a year. Um, we were able to kind of rally and be able to do a whole bunch of just online stuff. And then we were able to reopen in pretty much June. So since then, with safety protocols, we stay open. You have to wear a mask. We have like squares set up for the kids so that they're
Oh,
in like
okay.
6 feet apart from each other, and sanitizing everything and making sure they come up, put hand sanitizer on right away, and maintaining social distance. And it's the best we can do. Some of it kind of stinks because like we're not sparring and we're not doing hands-on stuff right now, just to keep everybody safe, but it'll be worth it once everything's finally over with this pandemic.
Right. And that's the problem. I mean, I work in a school setting myself. And I work in like the maintenance slash cleaning stuff. So
Hmm.
like it's a process. I mean, like you got to do your regular work and then at the same time you got to do like the disinfecting, and it adds a lot more time to where you're not as lenient as you could be. Like you need like a break for a couple minutes, then you could take it. It's more like getting to know what your times you can take things, like schedule your times to take a break or whatever. It's tough, and I'm sure it's tough there too because I mean with all the mats and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
cleaning up all the mats at the end of the day, making sure everything's sanitized. Another issue that we've run into is we've been able to test like little kids that are going for lower ranks, but higher ranking tests, we're just not really, we don't want to do that right now because people can't do techniques on each other and people can't spar. So there's been like a hold on that for a while because of the pandemic, and not being able to be as hands on. I mean, luckily with the karate style, we also have other ways to train, like forms and, doing stuff in the air on the bags, but we haven't really been able to test anybody for anything above like green. So people, luckily, martial arts isn't all about the testing, but when you're a little kid and you're motivated by testing, it kind of stinks a little bit, but they're all hanging in there.
so like for you, do you test when you say testing, do you like mean like could could you be a teacher and be able to give somebody like a black belt? Like I know there's a lot of steps to get to that point. Um like are you like, I don't want to say allowed, like is it more like do you have other teachers that you guys like go along and ask that and not ask, like go and train with somebody or know the kids, like how they earn it? Like, is it go through all of you guys, like as
Yeah,
teachers?
it's usually like the higher ranks within the school. Like, yeah, right now, I mean, I'm one of my instructors, like longest students. So usually it would be like me, her husband is also the same rank as me and her, and my mom does martial arts too. So
That's so
usually
cool.
we yeah, so we got 3 generations in here. So usually it would be us, like, testing people up, and we kind of respect each other's opinions as far as who's ready, who's not, and how the testing will go and everything and what we're looking for. So yeah, it's like I guess you could say kind of like a panel. It's usually never just like one person promoting somebody. It's a few different black belts that are kind of watching and making sure that whoever we're going to put in the test is actually ready for the test.
Right. And what I found amazing is one of the time, no, twice now, we had karate tournament in our building at the school. We had it in the
Oh,
gym,
nice.
and it was cool along the fact that it was actually Boston Taekwondo.
Okay.
And they held a big tournament in there, and like they had all their mats and like they're rolling them in. I'm like, those don't look that big. And then they open them in the gym, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like a tournament like Karate Kid. Like it kind of it like gave me a sense of what it looks like, but like you could see that these people are really serious about what they're doing. Um,
Mhm.
one of the instructors was a super nice guy, and he actually remembered my cousin who did Taekwondo a long time ago, actually in Abington, and I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. The one,
I
oh, well,
do.
it's the Abington South Weymouth line, we'll say,
Yep.
um, next to the best coffee in town.
Yep. The best.
um, yeah. So, I mean, I've had a sense of it because my cousin, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like he always had a picture of like him breaking a board after his was it his yellow belt? No, it was one of his big tests. He had to kick the board and break it in half. And it was like in front of a bunch of people and stuff like that. Like I'm sure that's what you guys miss, like being able to like not just stay in the do they call it a dojo?
Yep. We call it a dojo.
Okay, I was just making sure. I don't want to be like the dummy in the room. Yeah, so I mean, like, did you guys do that stuff? Like, go outside and like venture out and do karate somewhere else?
Yeah, our tests just take place in the dojo, but yeah, I mean like tournaments, or just we used to bring our demo team around to do some, like, not live shows, but live, like, performing for different events and stuff. And I definitely miss that, and I miss going to tournaments and letting our kids compete and see what that feels like. So it's that add that social aspect, like inter-school meetups and things like that. I definitely miss that side of it, because it is a lot of fun to be able to go and let the kids perform and see what it's like to compete, and see how different each kid feels about competing too. Because that's a big thing. So yeah, we're missing out on some of that, but I know there's been some ways people are trying to create events and stuff. There hasn't been too many, but we'll see where things go in the next, hopefully, we can get back to doing some tournaments and doing some stuff outside within the next, I hope, 6 months, but who knows with how long this pandemic
I
might.
know we keep getting pushed back. Like, I'd like to have interviews at like a restaurant or a brewery or whatever, but it's hard right now to like fill that slot and go
Hmm.
somewhere else. But
Yeah.
for my final question for you, Amanda, so what is your goals now for going on from here? Like what do you aspire to do? And with the whole Disney thing coming up, is that going to return? I mean, are you going to be back to shooting and stuff like that, or?
Well, that one already wrapped. So basically how stunt jobs work, like you go from job to job.
Yep.
Once something wraps up, you go to the next thing or whatever. But my goals as far as like 2021 goes, obviously I want to stay safe and stuff. I want to start going down to train with the guys in Atlanta a little bit more once, numbers kind of change a little bit and hopefully numbers go down. I also want to just continue to skill build. Like I usually make a vision board every year, or I write my like goals in my dream jar and stuff. And I would like to get my motorcycle license and jump into like some car stuff as well as far as stunts go. So I'm definitely gonna like save up to be able to go to a driving program this year. Want to get my motorcycle license this year. I definitely want to, start training a little bit more in some other book stunt jobs. Obviously becomes safe, trying to take things this and continue to just grow and become the best performer I can be as far as stunts goes. And then personally, making time for family and hanging out with my kid. And she's growing up so fast. So I just want to enjoy as much time as I can with her
Awesome.
throughout the year. And yeah. And I also have a little nephew now. So I would definitely want to, but he's out in Seattle, so I'm
Oh,
also, that's on hold a little bit too. Kind of stinks. So I really want to be able to go visit him too. So that's on my board too, to be able to travel a little bit more.
you can travel a little outside of Seattle and start kicking trees over there.
Yeah, right. Climbing
It's
mountains and kicking trees.
Yep, exactly. Well, Amanda, I really appreciate you joining the show, and it's great to see you since haven't seen you in a long time. And I wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully we'll have you on the show again, and you'll be like a superstar of some sort behind the scenes.
BTS superstar. No,
Yeah, yeah. But I'll see you on the stunt doubles, or you'll be the stunt coordinator. Who knows?
maybe someday.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's nice seeing you after like 13 years. I hope things continue to on the up and up with the podcast and everything, and continue doing what you're doing.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hmm.
All right, people. Well, we'll have another episode at some point with Amanda Kick It Like Cass. Follow her Instagram, and you'll make her the 16,000th follower eventually.
Yep,
But again, thank you, Amanda, and I wish you nothing but the best and good luck with whatever you do.
absolutely. Same to you, Matt. Take care. Have a good day.
All right, see ya.